guys, thanks so much for clicking on my channel with All Smiles Over Here. I am Will Sanjay. Like asking a question, will Sanjay help you keep your smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm gonna try not to keep it long, but y'all know if it gets good, I'm gonna keep on talking. The golden nugget today is bless up conversations. Bless up conversations. In other words, whenever you're having a conversation with an individual, whether it's on the phone or face to face, what you want to do is make sure that you are putting the spotlight on source, which means all positive things that you're engaging in, thankful, gratefulness in conversations, versus putting a spotlight on all negative things, all things of that somebody else's business, somebody else's marriage, and all this stuff that has a negative feel or emotion to it. You get what I'm saying? So you really want to engage in conversation to put the spotlight on source and all positiveness versus putting the spotlight on negativity or problems and stuff. Why? Because we know that source is so much greater than whatever else can be going on. You get what I'm saying? And then not only that, when you do that, put the spotlight on source, on all good, on all positive, you keeping a positive, grateful, thankful mind or wherever in the conversation. When you finally do hang up from whomever you're talking to or leave from face-to-face conversation, whoever you're talking to with, you will be at peace. In other words, your peace would not have been disturbed. Not to mention, having conversations like that and make you feel like your faith level has gone up notches, which obviously have you feeling like I can continue manifesting things in. I can continue bringing things into manifestation, right? Yes, into flourishing, right? Yes. So when you're not having blessed up conversations, you know that it's the exact opposite. When you put the spotlight on problems, which means the whole time you're on the phone, somebody's talking about something going on wrong. Somebody's either gossiping, telling you about somebody else's marriage, about somebody else's husband, somebody else's wife, somebody else's children. They just want to tell you all of those people's business. After they're done telling their business, they want to tell you about Susan's business, Jack's business, and everybody else's business. And then they'll try to chime in on your business, try to figure out what's going on under your four corners. You know what I'm saying? And so when you do that, and there's no type of spotlight put on source of positiveness, when you normally hang up the phone from talking with those people, leave from engaging from face to face with those people, you know how you feel. You feel like you need to go take a nap. Sometimes you'll feel like you need to drink a V8. Why? Because your energy is all drained. You'll get snappy with family and friends and stuff just for simple things. You'll feel like you want to talk crazy to your spouse. You got an attitude. And I know me, when I was not engaging in blessed up conversations, even if you're just listening, you don't have to be just talking and chiming in and saying negative things about the people that they're talking about. You could just be on the phone, holding the phone, listening, having to go into your gates, okay, into your ear gates. So when that happens, I know with me, I will be snapping with my kids over something simple. Don't you see that on the floor? Don't make any sense. That small piece of lint, you just gonna walk past. I'll just snap. And my kids like, okay, this was like 3 years ago. And then with my husband, I would feel like I would get a little attitude or a snap, and my husband like, everything okay? Everything's all right? What's going on? Did I do anything, say anything? Was something off? And I'll be like, no, because when he points it out to me that I'm acting different and strange, I have to go, what's going on? What is going on? And Source had to go, who did you talk to today? And I go, I talked to so-and-so. There you go. Because the emotions that I was having, all those snapping emotions, the attitude, they didn't belong to me. It was based from the conversations that I heard and that I was having with those individuals. And then and there, Source taught me that, hey, you can't engage in conversations like that, even if you're just listening. Y'all know it's a difference between somebody just telling you, hey, how's it going? Well, girl, I'm going through this, and then you go, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna pray that things, work out for you. And then we're gonna, look out for that part right there. We're gonna look for those results. And then you're done with that conversation. That's totally different. I'm talking about when you're engaging in a conversation where they've already told you their business. And then you've said something positive, right? Or you try to say something positive. And sometimes you don't even say anything positive. You're just still listening. And then they go from their business to somebody else's business, to somebody else's business, to somebody else's business, and they giving you all the remedy of what they would do if they was in a situation, or they giving you all the remedy of what the people should do because they are experts and they just talking about the business of that nature. And then if you're not careful, after they've done and finished talking about their business and everybody else's business, then they'll try to chime in on your business, what they think you should be doing. And then those type of conversations, it will wear you raggedy, okay? It will wear you out. And then you'll leave, hang up the phone, and your peace will be disturbed. Why? Because you can't even operate. Your mental is everywhere in everybody else's business. Now, those people's emotions and the other people's emotions are all into you, and you're acting out on somebody else's emotions. And now you know you ain't blessed up because what? Now you feel like you don't have enough faith to manifest things into your life that you have requested. So that's why I came on here to tell y'all, to give y'all some hints and some tips from my past experience, to make sure any conversation that you engage in, make sure that it's a blessed up conversation. Because at the end of the day, with having blessed up conversations, like I said before, you will find that your peace will not be disturbed and that your faith will be notches up. And you'll feel a burst of energy of knowing that I can continue manifesting. I can continue pulling my manifestations in. And you won't have to worry about dealing with other people's emotions. Why? Because you'll be in a good place, being nice to your kids, loving on your spouse, or when you're loving on your husband or loving on your wife. You see what I'm saying? So I want to tell you guys to make sure any conversation that you're engaging in, make sure it's a blessed up conversation. I will tell you this, whenever I have conversation with my mom, she'll want to tell me what's happening on the news, and I'll go, Mom, she'll still be talking. Mom, she'll say, huh? Can we change the subject? Because this is not blessing me up. And boy, she'll crack up, and I'll crack up because she gets it. And she'll do the same thing with me. If I get to where I'm talking about something and she feel that it's not blessing her up, she'll say, hey, we're going to have to change this subject. And we'll be like, okay, laugh, and we change the subject. And that's how you have to be. And that's when you're dealing with, that's another thing. That's when whenever you're having conversations with people, make sure you're having conversations with individuals who are aligned and connected and who are striving to plug in to source every single day, which means to be aligned and connected. Because when you do say, hey, you recognize that the conversation ain't going upward, it's bringing you like this, then you know that you're able to say, hey, can we change the subject because this ain't blessing me up. They will truly understand. So, and I know sometimes people aren't able to plug in. Some days I wake up and I was like, oh, I forgot to plug in. Let me plug in. That's how it is when you're so aligned and connected, and you maybe starting out late with plugging in for the day. Source will nudge you and say, girl, you need to plug in. Girl, you better. He'll nudge on the shoulder and say, you better plug in. And then you're able to plug in. So mind your conversation. Remember I talked about a golden nugget with you all with like-minded people? Make sure that when you're on the phone with different individuals that they have somewhat of like-mindedness of yours. Because they'll be mindful of that they shouldn't be talking about other people. They'll be mindful that their conversations should be a blessed up type of conversation, okay? And not to mention, I want y'all peace to be on fleek. I don't want your peace disturbed, because if your peace is disturbed, that means your faith is going to be rocky, and which means it's going to hinder you to a certain extent to where you won't feel like you can manifest that thing that you've requested. You won't feel like you can pull it on in. Why? Because you feel like you need to go take a nap. Why? Because you know something is off. And I don't want you guys to be that way. Trust me, I'm talking from experience. I have been, listen, every time I think, y'all here lately, I've been saying listen a lot. Okay, it's just something I guess I picked up. But y'all know what I mean. Listen. But I am grateful to where I am, because it's been a 3-year process for me, really honing in and being aligned and connected and really plugging in to where I'm able to share these golden nuggets with you. And every time I golden nugget come to me, y'all, I get super duper excited because I realize how much I've grown, and I'm able to recognize when I'm off balance, when I'm not plugged in, or when I'm not aligned and connected like I should be. I'm able, it comes like clockwork to me. Remember I told you about the pattern, how when source how sometimes you could be into something and you get into a pattern to where it reminds you, even if you wake up at 5 in the morning, every single morning. One morning you may not have to wake up at 5 in the morning, but your body just wakes up because what? It's used to that pattern. Y'all, that's where I am now with Source, with being awake and being aligned and connected, to where when I am off just a little bit, where I haven't really plugged in like I should, I'm not aligned and connected like I should, that pattern kicks in and Source say, girl, you better get aligned and connected. You better plug it in. You better get back on track. And I'm able to recognize it right away, when before, y'all, I had no clue. It was right there in my face. Girl, you need to get aligned and connected. What's going on with you? Get in line, get in order, get yourself in order, girl, get yourself in order. But I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it for nothing. Why? Because I had not developed that pattern. So now, y'all, 3 years in this thing, not to mention I've grown up knowing about Source Almighty and knowing that, but you know, when you're not aligned and connected, you can go to church all day, you can go to the masjid all day, you can go to the temple all day, you can go wherever it is where you're trying to get connected with Source all day, but until you plug into Source, all of that is just a pattern that you're in and you're not really applying it. But now, y'all, I am so grateful that I can apply this thing and I really know when I'm off. So I was like, what can I talk to them about today? And so it's just like, bless up conversations. So I don't know who this is for. I know me, with family members and friends and even strangers that I have conversations with, y'all, I could have avoided it. Way back when, I could have really avoided a lot of my peace from being disturbed if I had gone through this method that I do. And I don't know if I told y'all about the rice cooking method that I do with my conversations to help me to stay. For every cup, those of you who cook, for every cup of rice that you put in the pot that you're going to cook, you have to add 2 cups of water to it to make sure that it fluffs up just right and thing just turns out beautifully, right? You can add whatever seasoning you want. You could do that. But for me, and when I'm having my bless up conversations, that's how I look at it, as cooking rice. For every cup of negativity that I hear on the phone, I make sure that I add 2 cups of positiveness to it. And that way it overextends whatever they're talking about, and it outweighs that negativeness to where it not only evens out the playing field, but it puts some on top of positiveness. So, you know, it blesses me up even more. So listen, I know I rambled. It's about 12 minutes going to 13 minutes. I hope y'all got the gist of it. Just make sure that you're having blessed up conversations so that when you're done talking to whomever, whenever, your peace won't be disturbed and your faith will still be on fleek, which means what? You'll be able to continue to bring into flourishing of those manifestations that you have requested. Listen, if you take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and apply to your life to the best of your ability, you won't ever have to mask a smile. Why? Because your smiles will always be genuine. Listen, like I said, I hope you get the gist of it. Love on yourself from within. Make sure that any conversation that you're engaging in, make sure that it's a bless up conversations. Make sure that you're aware and that you know, and I'll let you know how you know that your conversation is not a bless up conversation. Starting out, right? All right, throughout the whole thing. Because for me, how I know, I don't know if I said it before, it feels like kryptonite to me. You know how Superman is with kryptonite? That's his weakness. It takes out all his power where he can't operate right. That's how it is with me. Whenever I hear negativity or hear somebody talking negatively about somebody, or somebody trying to gossip, or just being in a negative space, and it's not just them trying to just vent, just get somebody their chest. They are just going on and on and on and on and on about it. Y'all, it literally feels like kryptonite to me. I literally start going, oh, y'all remember how Ray Charles used to be moving? It's not funny. Remember how Ray Charles used to get when he get the itches whenever he couldn't get, you know, his good, them drugs or whatever? That's how negativeness does me. Because I'm so used to this good or positiveness. When people start talking negative, it's like kryptonite. And I'm like, oh, what is this? Oh, what is this you're talking about? Oh, I can't deal with it. And that lets me know that this is not a blessed up conversation. Then I have to immediately, like I say, go, hey, listen, can we change the subject? Because this is not blessing me up. Or I'll do this, y'all. Say, for instance, if somebody's saying, oh, girl, and their husband was doing this and their wife was doing this, and out the blue, I go, girl, I just looked out the window. It's a rainbow. It is a rainbow out there. Girl, it's a rainbow in my front yard, right in the sky. Girl, it's so beautiful. The prisons, those colors, all that. Girl, you know what rainbows mean? Promises, promises. And they get like, huh? What? What you talking about? Huh? Huh? And I'm like, the rainbow, girl. They be like, what rainbow? The rainbow in the sky in my front yard. And they be like, huh? And then I change the subject that way. I just throw them off. I go so far off left field to get them to stop talking about that negativeness, so that when I get off the phone, I'm at peace. My faith level is still on fleek, and I'm still able to manifest what it is I need to manifest. So you guys, that's how you'll know if your conversation isn't a bless up conversation, because you're going to start feeling tense. And you'll know when people are talking about stuff they shouldn't be talking about. And you know when you don't want to listen to it. Just do that. Just change the subject, or politely say, hey, listen, girl, I got to go. I forgot I got something to do. I'll get back with you later. Don't even let them get into it. They say, oh, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to go. No. Hold on to that. Don't forget about that conversation. I'm going to call you back. It may not be today, but when I call you back, if you can remember what you're about to tell me, then, we'll go from there. Do that, because listen, you don't want your peace disturbed. Especially this 2019. You already ready and waiting on these manifestations to come on in, and you put in the work. Last thing you need is your peace disturbed and your faith rocky, right? Okay, I think y'all got the gist of it. Stay in bless up conversations, engage in bless up conversations, and watch how your peace stays intact and your faith on fleek. Thus, you manifesting all those things that you have requested and that you're going to request. Okay, on that note, you guys, thanks so much for listening. I know I was rambling. I'm almost at 17 minutes, but I had to get on here and tell you guys that. And listen, don't feel bad about not wanting to hear what people got to say. You have to think about your gates. You have to think about the end game. The end game is you manifesting. And you have to take in the goodness that's going to make that happen, okay? And you just be that way. And trust me, people will appreciate you for doing that, because you know what? Not only are you keeping your peace intact when you do that, you're also keeping whoever on the other end of that phone or the other end of your face, keeping their peace intact. You get what I'm saying? All right, y'all. With that being said, I'm going to go. Thanks again for tuning in with All Smiles Over Here. I am Sandra. It's like asking a question. Will Sandra help you keep your smile for today? And hopefully today I did. Y'all, I'll talk to y'all soon. Be blessed. Stay blessed. Y'all know what's coming next. Ciao.